While coconut oil can be an excellent moisturiser in its natural state, when added to soap bar recipes, it can be quite drying because of its high uric acid content. This fatty acid has a fantastic cleansing ability, but it can also strip away natural oils from the skin if used in too high a concentration, which in turn makes the soap feel drying, especially for people with dry skin. To counteract the drying effects of coconut oil in soap bar recipes, adding moisturising ingredients like olive oil, avocado oil, shea butter or jojoba oil, or increasing the superfat percentage can help in balancing out the strong cleansing power of coconut oil. If using just coconut oil along with lye and distilled water to make the soap bars, it is recommended to have a superfat percentage of around 20%. This simply means that 20% of the oil that is used in the soap recipe has not reacted with the lye, allowing it to moisturize the skin. To work out the superfat percentage and how much of each ingredient is required to reach that percentage, it can be helpful to enter the ingredients that you wish to use in a soap calculator, such as SoapCalc, and it will factor in the percentages needed of those ingredients in order to achieve a certain superfat percentage for the soap. The best approach is to experiment with different superfat percentages and see what works best for your skin and preferences, especially when using moisturising oils like shea butter. When making soap, a liquid is needed to mix in with the lye. In most soap recipes, this is usually distilled water, but common alternatives include goat's milk and coconut milk. Distilled or filtered water is recommended, as regular tap water can often contain chemicals such as fluoride or chlorine, which may interact with the lye, impacting on the quality of the finished soap. It's really important to note that lye should be used with caution, as it's very dangerous on its own. But once it has been mixed with the fat, it is safe for use on the skin. Just make sure there are no children or pets in the area while you are making the soap. I used a soap calculator to get the exact measurements I needed for each ingredient in this recipe. If you want to change up the recipe at all, you will need to get new measurements, as it is imperative to use the exact amounts to attain the same type of soap bars. This recipe makes around 500 grams or 1 pound worth of soap with a 5% superfat content. Before getting started with making the soap, please note that the lye, while completely neutralized in the soap making process, can be quite harmful if not handled correctly. So please ensure you read up about the proper handling techniques of lye and what PPE will be needed before proceeding. To begin making this soap recipe, set yourself up in an area with good ventilation. Next to an open window is good. Then prepare your workstation with all the ingredients that you will need. Using a digital scale, measure out 190 grams of the distilled water and pour it into a heat-resistant glass, plastic or metal pot. Wear long sleeves, rubber gloves, eye protection such as goggles, and an apron when handling the lye. Next, measure out 79.88 grams of the lye or sodium hydroxide and pour it into the water. Stir the lye into the water slowly with a stainless steel spoon to dissolve the crystals. Please note, the chemical reaction will cause the solution to heat up quickly. Do your best to avoid breathing in the fumes and stir the mixture until the lye has completely dissolved. Then set the solution aside to cool to 38 degrees Celsius or 100 degrees Fahrenheit. While the lye solution is cooling, move on to melting the solid oils. Using a digital scale, measure out 75 grams of the refined cocoa butter, 75 grams of the refined shea butter, and 350 grams of the refined coconut oil. Pour these ingredients into a large stainless steel saucepan and heat the oils on very low heat until they just liquefy. Avoid the temptation to turn up the heat, as they will take a long time to cool down. Once melted, take the saucepan off the heat and allow the oils to cool to 32 degrees Celsius or 90 degrees Fahrenheit. When the lye solution has cooled and the oils are at the right temperature, slowly pour the lye mixture into the oils. Pour the lye solution against a spoon to reduce the amount of air bubbles that may form in the soap bars later on. Using an immersion stick blender or a hand mixer, place the blender into the pan and use it turned off to stir the mixture together. Then bring the stick blender to the middle of the pan and hold it still and pulse for a couple of seconds. Repeat the stirring and pulsing process until you notice what is called a trace. This is when the mixture is thick enough that the soap leaves a pattern on top of the surface before sinking back in. Working quickly, pour the soap into your preferred mould, whether it be a silicone mould, an empty paper milk carton, a wooden mould, or something else. If you're using silicone soap moulds, it's not necessary to do anything to them before pouring the soap in. Other moulds may require parchment paper. Protect the exposed part of the soap with plastic wrap or beeswax wrap and allow the soap to set in the mould for 24 hours or up to 3 days. Give it a tap to settle it and release any trapped air bubbles. To cut the soap into bars, an ordinary kitchen knife will do just fine. You can decide on how thick you would like your bars to be. After cutting them, leave the bars someplace well ventilated and out of direct sunlight to cure for 4 to 6 weeks. The soap is safe to touch 48 hours after making it, but it needs time to cure to allow the excess moisture to evaporate out of the bars. To cure, you can place the soap bars on a bookshelf, metal racks, cardboard boxes, stacked milk crates, or even make towers of soap. Stacking soap during curing is perfectly fine. Just ensure you flip the bars every so often during this time to make sure each side of the bar is receiving adequate airflow. The cure time begins not from the day you made the soap, but from the time you set it on the shelf to cure. When it comes to cleaning up the equipment, it's best to leave it aside in a safe place to wash the next day, as it won't be as harsh after it sits for a while. This is because the chemicals of the lye could still be present, so it's best to wait. This homemade coconut oil bar soap creates a rich and creamy lather on the skin. These bars are ideal for anyone with sensitive or dry skin. Once made, these bars can last up to 2 years. Just ensure you keep a close eye on them, and if there are any signs of contamination or mould, discontinue use. As the bars contain natural oils, they can go rancid over time. Thank you so much for watching this video tutorial on how to make cleansing coconut oil soap bars. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you found it helpful. Please let me know if you do try this recipe out for yourself and what you think. I'd love to know. I hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world. I'm sending you all my love, and I'll see you soon again.